Hey, I'm Finny. Welcome to Footy Fin. So, the international rugby season kicks off this weekend, at least for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere. It's been about half a year or more since the Wallabies last played, probably 7 months. And so now, over the next 5 months or so, the Wallabies have a dozen or more tests. Kicking off tonight with a game in Sydney against Ireland as part of this new Nations Championship. So a lot of Wallabies fans and All Blacks and Springboks fans are very excited. Pumas fans. As a Wallabies fan, how do I feel? Am I excited? Honestly, I can't say I am. The feeling for me is it's trepidation. That's the best word I can come up with. It's tentativeness, it's hesitant, it's nervous. I just don't know what I'm going to get put through over the next 5 months, but somehow I don't feel overly optimistic. You've got to have that little bit of hope, but you've got to be a realist too, as far as I'm concerned. And I just don't know how it's going to pan out. I imagine it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride the next 5 months or so, starting tonight. Tonight's game against Ireland, kind of a bit difficult to pick a winner here. And in some ways, like some of the other tests happening, but I think particularly this one is going to be a good gauge of the quality of the Super Rugby Pacific competition on the one hand versus the URC and the Champions Cup on the other. So of course we've got Ireland, and of their four provincial teams, the biggest contingent understandably comes from Leinster, who are fresh off the back of winning the URC final and losing the Champions Cup final to Bordeaux. Look, let me run over the teams first. Well, the Australian team, no major surprises. Maybe the biggest change, if you like, is Jock Campbell, who's a man from Brisbane, the University of Queensland club, in his early 30s, has only played a few tests, last played in 2022, with Tom Wright having been out much of the Super Rugby season injured, and Campbell doing very well for Queensland. He's come in at 15, and, well done to him. Wish him well. Australia has a new halves pairing who've never played before. Lonergan from the Brumbies and Carter Gordon from the Reds at 10. That'll be interesting to see. I don't know how many halves pairings we've been through in the Schmidt era alone, but this is yet another one. Let's see how that goes. Donaldson's finally made it onto the bench in a Joe Schmidt team, so that's a bit of a change-up. Joseph Suaalii. It appears that for the entirety of Suaalii's 5-year contract, which is about halfway through, he's basically got a mortgage on the number 13 jersey. So make no mistake, I don't believe this is on form. He only played a partial Super Rugby Pacific season due to injury, but he played for the woeful Waratahs, who were extremely disappointing. This surely is not a selection on form. Anyway, that's just a fact of life with Rugby Australia. So long as he's fit, he owns a number 13 jersey, evidently. He'd have to do something extremely bad to lose it. And whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to run over the whole squads. As I said, Ireland are dominated by Leinster, although they're without, say, Caelan Doris, the number 8. They're without James Lowe, who's moved off to Japan to play club rugby there. They're without Mac Hansen, Finlay Bealham, and others, but still a very strong team. I think Sam Prendergast's brother is making his debut as a breakaway or playing. Yeah, I think it's his test debut. Anyway, I should know that. But yeah, look, if I were a betting man and I had to put money on one team or another, it doesn't give me any joy to say it, but I'd be putting money on Ireland tonight. But you never know, and as us Wallabies fans have been known to say over the last couple of decades, it's the hope that kills you. So yeah, I'm trepidatious about the next 5 months. As I said, a little bit of hope there, but I'm not massively confident that we're going to see by December significant advancement compared to this time last year or indeed the year before. But let's wait and see. Bring it on. All Blacks playing France, England playing the Springboks, Los Pumas playing Scotland, Fiji playing Wales, and Japan. Who are they playing? I should know this. Italy, I believe. Sorry. Anyway, bring it on. Can't wait. Please let me know what you think. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. Drop a comment down below. I'd love that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hoping for a Wallabies win, but wouldn't put a huge amount of money on that. Let's wait and see. It's a hope that kills you. All right. See you later.